Yes, hello friends, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. Things are moving ever so fast for Chelsea Football Club. Young wingers on the way out for loans, permanent deals. Chelsea looking like we have won the race for 19-goal Arsenal target Eliwahi. More on Michael Olise we could talk a little bit about. We could speak about Tony looking to transfer maybe even this summer. Oh my giddy aunt, so much going on.
Way so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought.
Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, lots to get into. Very exciting at the moment, isn't it? It's fun. It's fun. You know, we've been suffering for a long time, and now in pre-season games, Chelsea are scoring goals. The unwanted players are no longer stinking up the gaff, and we've got very young, talented players that do want to be at Chelsea. And we're being linked to more exciting players. Great fun! If you think it's great fun, please smash like on video, and you're welcome to subscribe to this channel, Football Therapy, of course, where there are multiple uploads throughout the day, reacting to all the latest news, headlines, and rumours regarding Chelsea Football Club. So you're welcome to join the fun, friend. Where to start? Callum Hudson-Odoi has agreed terms with Fulham. Yeah, he is a player that we need to sort out, I think. 1 year left on his deal, high wages, 120k a week. Incredibly high wages for a player who hasn't been playing for Chelsea. Callum Hudson-Odoi is pushing even more heavily to leave Chelsea, writes Callum McAvoy on the Metro. He's apparently agreed terms with Fulham. The winger is set to leave Stamford Bridge this summer, but the sale has been delayed, with Chelsea attempting to drive his price up as much as possible. Bearing in mind, he's got a few suitors as well. Several other Premier League sides and even City A clubs interested. So Crystal Palace and Nottingham Forest, and I think Everton as well, maybe West Ham, have been priced out of a move, however. Fulham have got money. They do spend a lot of money, and also it's worth mentioning as well, Fulham they're going to get a lot of cash for Alexander Mitrovic, who looks like he's off to join the Saudi revolution, chasing the bag. And it looks like they're getting Raul Jimenez of Wolves. It's a shame about Raul, because ever since he had that head injury, he's not been the same striker. Before that, I was thinking, poor Chelsea should have a look at him to replace Diego Costa. Yeah, feeling like a long time ago now. Anyway, lots of clubs want Callum Hudson-Odoi. Granted, his stock isn't as astronomically high as it once was, with, like we've said before, Bayern Munich willing to pay up to 70 million quid for him. Ooh, mama. Maurizio Sarri, of course, the former manager of Chelsea, who Callum Hudson-Odoi sort of gained his profile under, is also interested in bringing him to Lazio. But by all accounts, excuse me, Hudson-Odoi wants to stay in London, go to Fulham. As the transfer is close to completion to Fulham, with the Evening Standard reporting that the player, who's currently earns over 120k a week, which is crazy really, has agreed personal terms with his prospective future team. Marco Silva's Fulham have already seen a bid for Callum Hudson-Odoi rejected. And then I guess we're waiting to see a second one. How much do we expect to get for Callum Hudson-Odoi? I don't know, like 10, 15 million. He's only got 12 months left in his deal, but he's still really highly rated. And ultimately, the team that gets Hudson-Odoi and invests in him and plays him will be getting a bargain. It's just whether they can. I mean, if he's if he's accepted personal terms, it means the wages isn't an issue. But we'll see what happens. Let's move on and talk about Angelo Gabriel. So this is a young player, Brazilian winger that can play on the right, or plays on the right. That's excited a lot of people in pre-season, and it's like, just give him a chance, give him a chance. It looks like he's going to Strasbourg on loan, as was always the plan. The secret scout on Twitter, who's of course very, very well connected to the young footballers in the world. On the 2nd of July, he said, understand Chelsea have plans to loan out Angelo Gabriel to newly acquired club Strasbourg under the guidance of Patrick Vieira. And that was on the 2nd of this month, so 22 days ago, of which he's quoted that tweet yesterday, I believe, and reiterated this, because of course, Strasbourg's chief scout, Loïc Désiré, confirming what we were told. He said this, quote, Angelo, he won't be arriving straight away. As Chelsea want to integrate him in the club first, he'll come in August after the tour of the United States. We want more variety to bring more variety for Patrick Vieira. Essentially confirming, yes, Angelo is coming to Strasbourg. Now, this might frustrate some people, but ultimately, he's an 18-year-old, who's just got here, and yes, he looks good, but it was always the plan. It was always the plan to put the world in your hands. To send him to Strasbourg, and I've endorsed it. If he stayed around, it would have meant Poch really loves him, but ultimately, we're looking at, the likes of Cherki, Kudus, and Michael Olise, and it does look like Olise could be the one. Then you've got Noni Madueke behind Olise, and Olise is racking up 11 Premier League assists for struggling Crystal Palace. Do you know what I mean? So yes, he does look like really exciting, but like these guys are saying, he will return to Chelsea after a year loan at Strasbourg. And that would probably be good for him because it would get starting minutes for sure. You'd have to say Chelsea Blueco own Strasbourg, and you'd have to say loaning him unless like his form falls off a cliff and it's making their first satellite club just lose loads of games, and ultimately it won't be good for the project as a whole. He'd get loads of starting minutes. And it's good that they're bringing him. Excuse me. Hay fever makes my chest all blocked up. Anyway, it's good they're taking him on the US tour, because then it's showing him this is Chelsea. These are your teammates. We're good guys. In a centre of Strasbourg, it's going to be okay, but you're going to come back, and this is what you're going to integrating them into the European Blueco family, which of course by extension goes to Strasbourg now as well. I think it's all pretty smart. I can't breathe out of my chest. I think it's all pretty smart, and I endorse it. I know many of you will be frustrated by this, but ultimately I love any of Cherki, Kudus, and Olise. And, as much as I hope Angelo Gabriel has a big future at Chelsea, it doesn't have to be right now. So let me know what you think on that, and let's move on. Quickly on Eli Wahi. I still hope I'm pronouncing the young Montpellier striker's name right. Fabrizio Romano claims Chelsea are nearing the deal for the 19-goal Arsenal target. And this is on HITC.com, written by Ollie Dawes. Chelsea are closing in on a deal to sign Montpellier striker Eli Wahi amid rumours for interest from Arsenal. Well, beating Arsenal to any transfer target could only be fun. It was good with Mudryk. I know he played a lot of money for him, but he looks like the talent's there, so very exciting. He could soon become a Chelsea player, while the Blues are ready to accelerate their move for the Montpellier talent. This is, of course, according to Fabrizio Romano, who claims Chelsea are advancing in talks to sign Wahi. Romano claims that Chelsea now want to accelerate the move this week in order to beat other clubs to Wahi's signature. It's suggested that a new round of talks is imminent, with Chelsea looking to secure an agreement as soon as possible. Romano adds Chelsea's plan is to loan Wahi out for the next season, for this upcoming season, before bringing him back to Stamford Bridge. Well, there's so many young strikers, man. A lot. There is a problem here, though, that RMC Sport claimed just a few days ago that Wahi isn't interested in joining Strasbourg. What? You don't want to join the Strasbourg Revolution, bro? I know, odds are, as things stand, you're not going to start over Nico Jackson, but who knows anymore? Everything's just so new and exciting, but most salient point is it's fleeting. Everything's only just started happening, so you don't know what's happening. There's nothing set in stone yet. But point being, apparently he's not interested in joining Strasbourg. Of course, this is the club we've just spoken about, that Blueco have just bought. While he could be one of them, but Chelsea need to convince him into making the move. So, yeah, it would be go to Strasbourg. They'll do better than Montpellier next season. Now we've got, Angelo's going out there. You got Patrick Vieira. Excuse me. I apologise for clearing my throat loads on this piece of media. It must be frustrating, but what can I say? I'm suffering. I'll take an antihistamine shortly. Yeah, dude. So you could convince him that that's the right thing to do. Patrick Vieira's going to cook. You're breaking transfer records with centre backs. They've got a £20 million centre back, which is mad for Strasbourg. And ultimately, it could be a good idea. I want to see what Chelsea's long-term intentions is with Wahi. I guess if he just scores 22 Ligue 1 goals next season, then maybe they'll just seriously consider bringing him back to play for Pochettino. who knows? Speaking of strikers and staying on the striker train, choo-choo, Cy Phillips on his news website, Chelsea-News, writes about Ivan Toney. A Chelsea-linked striker is reportedly set to switch agents in a move that could suggest a transfer away from his club is on the cards. Well, we've known that for a little while. Toney has great ambition, and he probably thinks he won't realise that ambition at Brentford. An incredible striker, an incredible Premier League striker. Chelsea have been linked with the Brentford and England striker Ivan Toney, but news on that since went quiet after he got his football ban. Well, until quite recently. Felix Johnson, of course, said Paul Winstanley, one of the Chelsea directors, has actually been in contact with Toney, trying to sort out a transfer for January, potentially, or keeping it warm, and Toney is open to Chelsea. This might not put clubs off, the ban that is, Simon writes, and there's a chance that some interested parties attempt to get a deal done now for the striker, with him then arriving at said club in January, ready to play. So just getting the deal done. I guess maybe, I was going to say loaning him back, but he can't be loaned back anyway because you can't play. So I guess this would be alluring for Brentford because they just sort it out now and they plan for the whole season ahead of a new striker. I guess so. Either way, the Sun has reported that Toney is weighing up a big summer move to a new agent. He is thought to be considering whether to join the huge stable of top players at CAA Stella. This would be regarded as a sign Toney is preparing for a transfer to a new club, perhaps even before his 8-ban suspension is finished. Of course, Chelsea, Spurs, supposed to replace Harry Kane, I guess. Manchester United are among the clubs that are interested. Man United are, of course, also very, very interested in signing a new centre forward. Spoke to my mate as a United fan. I was like, wicked. You know, I sent him that link up between Mudryk and Nico Jackson and said, yeah, look, it looks like we've got a good striker here. Like, say it quietly. I know it's only pre-season. I know it's only early. And say it quietly because this is Chelsea Football Club. But I think we might have a good striker on our hands there. So, again, Breuer, Jackson, no Europe. Maybe wait till, it does seem like why he would be like an investment alone and, offering him stability, money and a good career path, even if it's not at Chelsea. It's convincing him that's the case. That's going to be one thing. Who knows? Maybe Chelsea genuinely think, well, he's going to be a Chelsea striker at some point. But we'll have to see what happens there. It does seem like we have not found ourselves or know exactly what we want to do with a striker. At this point, I think everyone would be like, give the shirt to Jackson, rotate him with Breuer, and come January, we'll know where we are with them, in terms of profile, in terms of performance levels. And if they're doing it, great. If they're not, bring in Toney. But if the deal for Toney has to be done now, it represents a risk. I would feel quite frustrated if Manchester United signed Ivan Toney when he was there for us. He's such a good Premier League player. He plays so well in this league. He's so strong. He's already spoken about how he idolized, he developed his game off Didier Drogba, and I just think he would be an excellent acquisition. And of course, he'll be about pushing 28, so he'll be that senior striker, and you got the young strikers behind. That's just what I think. Let me know what you think. All right then. So a bit more of Michael Olise. It is exciting, and the more I try and gauge the fan opinion on Olise, many people are really, really into it. I mean, as soon as the name came up, my reaction was one of excitement, and as was many other people's. He is a really exciting player that's proven he can do it at the highest level for a couple of seasons now, despite only being 21, and he's finished the season in form. And it looks like for example, when someone finishes the season in form now, I'm just thinking, wow, Nico Jackson finished the season in form. It looks like he's just maintaining it. Maybe we can just carry that on into this season, stick Olise on the right wing, and let's cook. Let's cook, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe a front three of Olise, Jackson, and Mudryk. Ooh, that's exciting, isn't it? There's talks about how, because Crystal Palace are losing Wilfried Zaha as well, they'll be reluctant to lose Olise as well. But if there is a buyout clause of £35 million, it's rumoured that Chelsea have put an offer in for £39 million 4 million over the release clause. Maybe that's just to get it done. And also, you can bet your bottom dollar, you can put the farm on that £39 million, that additional £4 million to the release clause is to ensure Chelsea are allowed to pay in instalments, because that's our jam under Blue Coat ownership. Pay in instalments. Of course, Palace will be in need for certain players, and it has been suggested that Chelsea could help them out with that situation by loaning them players. Whether it's the likes of Chukwuemeka, who actually, I know a lot of people really, really rate him, as do I, although I do worry about him a little bit, just fitting in immediately into the season. But someone like Carney Chukwuemeka would be an excellent loan for Crystal Palace. I'm not saying we should give them Chukwuemeka. I'm saying, that we will. You can't loan two players from one club. Can you? Is that still a rule? Because you could be like Lewis Hall and Chukwuemeka. Do you know what I mean, or something like that? But if we say, look, we'll do what we did with Brighton when we got Kukurea, when we lent them Colwill, loaned them Colwill, lent them. Do you borrow this? Do the same thing with like a Chukwuemeka. Say, look, sell us Olise for 39 million with the payment things structure, and we'll loan you Chukwuemeka for a season. Surely that makes sense, no? I'm trying to think. There'll be other examples in the squad, but Chelsea really want Angelo to go to Strasbourg, so I don't think it'll be him. But I'll be very interested to learn your thoughts, feelings, and opinions on that. What do you think of a front three of Mudryk, Jackson, and Olise? I think that's very, very exciting, personally. I want to hear what you think, though. Of course, there's multiple videos a day on the channel, so do hit the bell when you subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you all very, very soon. Peace.